that know her.
Technically, I'm a witch.
Season 2, Vampy D's. Ash is vamp-splaining. Petey's learning about the bros, Stefan and Damon. Pete-dictions coming true. Founding fam's got a plan. Guess who's back in the falls with their eyes on her man's body stacking up? A lot of people H for B. Now what's going on with these Vampire Diaries? Hello. Welcome to the Vampire Diaries, the Vampire Diaries podcast where a guy who has only seen one full season of the show watches the series for the first time with a superfan who has seen every episode. I'm the titular Petey. Let's just say I put the Petey in Vampedy, but please call me Pete. And I'm here with my co-host and co-parent, Ash.
Hey, Pete.
Hello.
What's up?
I have no question or conversation starter.
Nothing about Bad Moon Rising?
Bad Moon Rising. I was thinking about doing a parody version of I see Uncle Mason's butt or something like that. But I didn't because of online school and work and chores and real life obligations.
Lots of things going on.
I see Stefan and Damon. There's a full moon tonight.
Yeah, Mason's butt. Were you excited to get into this episode once you knew the title? Where you're like, we'll finally find out if there's going to be werewolves or not?
I was just in such a denial. Spoilers for this very episode. There are werewolves. I was in denial up until this episode that there was truly wolves, lycanthropes.
I know. It was so fun for me to hear your Pete-diction about this. Mm-hmm. You Pete-dicted that Tyler was a werewolf in a joking way,
maybe
in
episode 1.
Yeah, episode 1 or 2, really early on. And I was like, what? How did he know that? And you just said it so randomly. Mm-hmm. And then eventually you started to think that you were wrong. Mm-hmm. And that was too ridiculous and they were making it too obvious, and then came up with lots of other silly ideas.
Yeah.
But what a journey for me to
wow.
for you to go through all those Pete-dictions and turn out to be right. Yeah,
this was if we had some kind of producer or something, mm-hmm. I would get them to make a super cut of all the Pete-dictions that came true in this episode.
But nobody got time for that.
No. It was like a Pete-dictathon out here.
Well, the very first time that Tyler gets blackout angry or whatever, they pan up to the full moon.
I think, yeah.
Which I didn't ever pay attention to first watch. But second watch, I'm I already know he's this whole situation with the Lockwoods or whatever.
Yeah, well, we don't know. We just know at this point, I just know he's related.
Yeah, with Mason.
To a werewolf.
And they have this whole weird basement situation. But anyways,
mm-hmm.
for them to show this full moon in that moment, I was like, oh, they do really hint at this
yeah, for season 2.
Yeah.
Good for them.
The long game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Mason, werewolf.
Uncle Mason.
And we don't know yet about Tyler.
No. I guess let's discuss werewolves. Any fun werewolf media, or maybe from your past, or maybe run-ins? Have you ever crossed paths with a altered beast?
Certainly not.
No.
But I've read a really fun thing that you wrote about werewolves.
Oh. Yeah, I wasn't even fishing for that whatsoever.
I know, but that's the thing that I have the most experience of werewolves with.
You know what I can say, though? In my young adult book series, The Happenstances. Mm-hmm. And what were the titles of those books again? Just kidding. I'm not going to make you do that. But a character who is an aspiring writer, his big project that he's always working on is a admittedly pretty bad idea with a corny title. Mm-hmm. And the genesis of that was when I was first writing the outline of the whole thing. I was like, what would be like a movie that if you pitched it in like one sense, it'd be so bad and then would have such a corny, bad title? Mm-hmm. But then over the many, many years that I've been working on that book and all this stuff, I like fell in love with it in a way. And then I eventually did write the project that my character was like trying to write.
Yeah, that's super interesting.
And I really actually then enjoyed the thing that I wrote that came out of it. It needs a lot of work, but yeah, werewolves.
And it involves werewolves.
Yeah.
That's my werewolf experience is your story.
Wow. And then I just told it.
Yeah.
Any more werewolf? I mean, I've seen Teen Wolf.
Yeah, I've seen Teen Wolf.
I think it's kind of hyped up.
It was good a long time ago. Mm-hmm. You know, it had its place.
I've seen a couple or maybe one of the Underworld movies, and that's Vampires versus Werewolves.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Didn't grab me. I don't know. Maybe it deserves a rewatch. There's like 5 of them at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have werewolves in anything else. Oh, what about the Chipmunk Halloween movie? There's some werewolf situations going on in there.
Oh, yeah, I'm not that familiar with it. And then I haven't really seen the Twilights, but of course, that's where Team Jacob comes from, which Bonnie Team Jacob t-shirts were sold out at the carnival.
True. I wasn't even thinking Twilight. But yeah.
That's why. So wait, timeline-wise, was this television show on at about the same time the Twilights were coming out? It seems like it.
I certainly watched them around the same time.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I was late to one or both.
Well, I mean, obviously, this came out after at least one of the Twilights because they said Team Jacob.
Yeah. It could be around the same time.
So it just seems weird that they would do, like, sexy teen vampires and werewolves at the same time.
But why is it weird? People really liked it.
Yeah.
People really liked it. They were into it. So they're like, well, we'll do that too.
Yeah, I mean, it must have been Twilight was a big hit, and then they were like, hey, guy from Scream, do this.
Right.
And he was like, sure. I like money.
Yeah.
Any more werewolves? Like, you know, something that didn't happen in this that you always are waiting for in a werewolf thing is the transformation where you see, like, the hands become big paws. Mm-hmm. And, like, the neck, like, and they always go, like, and then, like, their neck stretches out and stuff.
Yeah. You did get to hear a lot of screaming.
Yeah. I was wondering if they were going to try and do all that and it was going to look really bad, but they made it good in a way by not showing too much.
Yeah, and then it was like he was actual wolf and not like a wolf man.
No, yeah, he was not a wolf man.
Was that surprising to you?
Yeah, because again, I was like, they're going to have a bad-looking 2010 television wolf man in here.
Right.
And I was like, it's a big dog wolf.
Yeah, the wolf looked good.
Yeah, and that could... And you know what made it was that its bite could kill a vampire. And obviously also, like... turn a human into a werewolf. I'm guessing.
They didn't say anything about that.
Yeah. But that was a good way to go because that made it scarier without having to have like a 8-foot tall man wolf that would look bad in 2010-y.
Yeah, I agree. I think they did a good job with it. It held up too. It wasn't weird.
No. Okay, but we'll probably get into that further. Let's get into the ep.
The cold open?
Cold open, our trademark segment, which if anyone else does a segment like that, we can sue them. I have lawyers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Call them up.
They're on speed dial. Alaric.
He's back.
Guess who's back in the house?
He's in season 2.
Yay. He's at the... yay, what? I don't know. I think I was probably annoyed by him last. I don't know. It was good to see him.
Whatever, he's there.
All right, he goes over to the Salvatore Bros house. Damon greets him. He's like, you want coffee? You want bourbon? You want some bourbon in your coffee?
Yeah, that was funny.
That was funny. Sounded like he had a lot of coffee bourbon.
Yeah, he was trying to share the wealth.
All right, so this cold open is intercut between that conversation with Alaric and the bros with, like, Tyler creeping on Uncle Mason.
Yes.
While he's out jogging. Alark says Isabel might know something about the Lockwoods. Mm-hmm. And then someone brings up the lycanthrope. Mm-hmm. And at that mention, I was like, all right.
Really?
We're really doing this? Mm-hmm. Well, I know what lycanthrope is, like the fancy schmancy werewolf name.
Mm-hmm. Do vampires have a fancy schmancy name like that?
We should know that. So Damon starts talking about werewolves, and then they cut to Mason and Tyler.
Yeah, Mason's going off into the woods. Tyler is seriously creeping.
Mm-hmm. Isabel's stuff is at her office at Duke. Still?
Yeah, she still has an office there, which I thought was weird.
Why would it be there?
Why would it be there?
Who has an office at a place they don't work at?
Or, like, the stuff that she was researching is still there would make sense, but not that, like, her office is, like, still intact.
Yeah.
I think the way that they phrased it was kind of weird. It should be, like, they kept her research.
Yeah.
That would make more sense.
Or, yeah, someone else took on her research and they're still there or whatever, which we learned.
Yeah.
Tyler, Ash, you might not know this because you're not an uncle, but I am.
True.
As soon as you become an uncle, which for some that's your brother or sister has a child, for some it's marrying someone whose brother or sister has a child. As soon as you become an uncle, as soon as you get that title, you inherit a creepy basement. So, of course, Mason has his creepy uncle basement.
Uncle basement.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Where's yours?
It's in Mystic Falls, Virginia, actually, on the Lockwood estate.
Okay.
So Tyler finally, I mean, also a rite of passage is the nephew finding the creepy uncle basement.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so we get to see this in the cold open. Tyler finds it.
Very common.
Goes into it, finds straps and scratches on the walls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whoa. Mason is into some
weird stuff.
And then, okay, this gave you pause, Ash. No pun intended, P-A-W-S. Damon, at the end of the cold open, starts referencing the Universal Monsters, which, like, were played by Lon Chaney, Bela Lugosi, and so that was, like, the Wolfman and Frankenstein. I mean, Wolfman and Dracula were those guys, but then Frankenstein, probably a couple others. Maybe Creature from the Black Lagoon. But anyway, you were like, who are these people that he's talking about? And I was like, Ash, those are the classic Universal Monsters.
Yeah, he said the name like 100 times. I was like, all right. Well, I know he's talking about werewolves. That's all that matters. But I don't know who this person is.
Did you learn nothing from the Universal Studios tram ride?
Nope. Good ride, though.
One of the best. But yeah, I don't know. So I was just trying to think of, like, how old would Damon have been when those movies came out?
I mean, he's the same age forever.
Yeah, but so I guess he would have been like 120 or 100 years old.
Still a youngin'.
Yeah, or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, he was just like 100-year-old guy, like, well, I'm going to watch these movies now.
It does make sense that Damon and Stefan can refer to super old stuff.
Well,
like, it's like common knowledge because they lived it.
Yeah, and we know Stefan loves Grisham.
Right.
But anyway, that was a weird thing to go out of on the cold open.
Yeah, I was just like, who is that?
Yeah.
Thankfully you knew.
Yes, and then if anyone were to ask me anything further, I'd be like, I really don't know. I know the surface level info on a lot of things.
Yes, you do.
The main episode starts.
Oh, is this the new section of our
Yes. Act 1 of the show after the title and maybe probably a commercial break if we were watching it live. Matt knocking on Caroline's door. She can't answer it because of the sun.
Yep, she's bummed out.
And I Pete-dicted that scene pretty much.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be with her mom and like, don't come in, I'm naked. I didn't say that, but it wasn't the mom. It was Matt, and he's all mad.
Yeah, he's super mad. But like, I mean, they just don't want to let Matt in on all this supernatural stuff. Which is interesting because Bonnie knows, Caroline knows, Helena knows, you know.
Well, maybe
Jeremy knows.
maybe they understand that he's like very dumb.
That's just what you think. But he's just so annoyed. Like, he kept trying to check on her in the hospital. She was hot and cold, and he insulted her 100 times the last episode and told her he loved her.
And that he was going to throttle her.
So, lots of mixed feelings here. But he's just trying to hang out with his girlfriend, and she's not answering him, but because she can't go in the sun.
No. And they are teens dealing with teen dramas. I get it.
Some dramas, for sure.
Elena is going on a road trip with Damon and Alaric. I said, that's fun.
Second road trip with Elena and Damon.
For sure. Stefan is staying around the way to hang with new vampire Caroline. Make sure she's all right.
He's being responsible.
And then...
Vamp Daddy.
Vamp Daddy?
Yeah.
Dang the lang. And there's some smooching between Elena and Stefan.
Oh, yeah. She was trying to show Damon that it's always Stefan. It's always going to be Stefan, like her and Catherine have both said. She grabs him up. Big old smooch. Man.
Tough for Damon.
Tough for Damon. But you know what's really great? Being in high school and kissing.
Yeah, if only we could do both of those things.
Or college. I mean, I know they're in high school, but kissing is great.
It is. There should be more kissing, especially right now.
Okay.
Everyone,
kiss.
Go outside, find the nearest person, start kissing.
No, not right now.
Okay. Alaric is having a little visit with Aunt Jenna.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Aunt Jenna had the girls out.
Girl. I said, and you noticed that, but what I noticed was Alaric's big puffy hair.
I noticed his puffy hair, too.
Like,
he
what's
needed
going
a
on?
haircut.
Yeah. He tells Jenna about the road trip, and he hits on her. Mm-hmm. Elena is leaving for the trip. Damon says, sorry you can't come too, Steph. I'll take care of Elena. Big smile, big frown, big smile. Eyebrow twitch. But then there's more smooching.
Yeah.
They're just smooching it up.
With Stefan and Elena.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also then Damon and Alaric are just kind of like...
Okay, we'll
do
kiss.
a couple like little pecks. Just like, we're cool.
Kissing is good.
Uh-huh. We're in high school.
Ew. He's a teacher.
Oh,
and
yeah.
also Damon's not in high school.
I know. Ty.
Your buddy Ty.
My buddy Ty. Asking Lady Interim Mayor Lockwood about their old estate. Mm-hmm. And I think it burned down or something, right? I was typing in that one.
She was like, oh, it burned down. And if it hadn't, we'd probably still be living there.
Yeah. And it has a creepy basement, an uncle basement,
Well,
she says.
No, she doesn't. She says they don't talk about that basement because no one likes to relive the slave times.
Yes, which I said at least they acknowledged it in some kind of way, even if it was to be like, let's not talk about this, which is bad. But at least they didn't, at least the show itself wasn't like, yeah, this...
Like slavery didn't exist in the 1800s in Virginia.
Yeah,
it obviously did.
This like torture basement exists not just for werewolves. Mm-hmm. I mean, they acknowledged their sordid past, but...
And do you think Lady Lockwood knows anything about this Lockwood curse that Mason is experiencing?
Ooh, good question. Was Mayor Lockwood enough of a man about town to be like, oh, I'm going to the council meeting on
Overnight.
full moon night? Yeah. I don't know. Good question. She, well, okay. Maybe not, because didn't Ty ask her about the moonstone? Mm-hmm. Someone asked her about the moonstone, and she was like, no, I don't know. She wasn't like, the sins of your father, blah, blah, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe she's good at lying.
Yeah, totally. Maybe she is good at lying, but would you think that she would like have the talk with Ty, like, well, you're gonna start feeling some changes, or would you think that she would think that Mayor Lockwood would have already done that, father son, or is Mason back in the house so he can do that. I don't know. All that I'm saying points to her not knowing.
Okay. Obviously, I watched the whole show, but I will not say.
Stefan and Bonnie at the grill. Stefan, okay, so again, I was like, they're gonna have to figure out some way for Caroline to be walking around.
Well, I've prompted you.
You prompted all,
in
Ash.
your Pete-dictions, just so you know.
Yes,
Because I know what actually is gonna happen, and so I'm like, at these turning points, I'm like, okay, well, what do you think? But yeah, I was like, what's gonna happen to Caroline? She can't walk around in the daylight. And then you did Pete-dict.
Yeah, you were leading the Pete-ness.
Yeah.
The witness, the Pete-ness.
That's my whole jam.
Yep. There are instructions in the
Grimoire.
the Grimier from Emily Bennett to make Caroline a daywalker, but can Bonnie do it? She's like, I don't know. And then Stefan's like, you can drop vampires with a look.
Stefan is definitely encouraging her, and he wants to help Caroline. But Bonnie's also unsure of herself, but also she doesn't really want to help vampires, even though Caroline is her best friend.
Yeah, it's a real struggle for her. It's like, I don't like vampires, but my best friend's now a vampire.
Yeah.
What do I do? Bonnie also doesn't like that Caroline killed Carter.
Yeah. That could have been a potential boyfriend.
Could have been, or at least a little fling, a little carnival one night in town before he goes up to New York. If we can't trust her, then we should stake her right now.
So that's what Stefan said.
Yeah, he's saying strong words to get Bonnie to be like, ah.
Right. It worked.
Spoilers. On the road trip, Damon claims he knew Jeremy was wearing the magical ring when he killed him.
He's like, yeah. And then Elena's like, you're lying. She just called him out immediately.
Caroline wants to choose the daywalking ring. So Stefan and Bonnie go up to her, go to her room, and they're like trying to figure it out. And she's like, I want to choose the ring.
Yeah, she's like, I have to wear it. She's just being so moody and kind of a B word about everything.
Hey, maybe they should get her a mood ring.
Right.
It would say salty.
But Caroline is like, I want to be able to at least pick the jewelry that I'm going to wear for the rest of my life. But she doesn't get to be choosy.
No, and it's moments like this when it's like, this is a supernatural thing, but it's being filtered down to like a teen BFF spat.
Yeah.
Which, that's funny.
And then, yeah, Bonnie's just like, no. Here, put it on the bed.
It's like, okay, Bonnie was into Carter, so she's extra mad. It's like Caroline cheated with some guy that Bonnie liked, but instead she killed him. So that's taking it up a notch.
Yeah.
That's heightening.
And also, as you know, like, Bonnie really hates Damon right now and doesn't trust him because he kills people. And so she just has, like, this whole thing about people not getting killed. But
Yeah,
you can't
like,
blame her for that.
I just don't like that my friends kill people. I just don't want to be friends with someone who kills people.
I can't get on board.
Yeah. Bonnie does make the ring.
Yeah, in like 2 seconds.
And Caroline is still being like kind of a brat, and she's like, nothing witchy even happened. And then Bonnie like throws open the curtain and exposes Caroline to the light.
And shows that the ring worked. Caroline is like, Bonnie, what if it didn't work?
And Bonnie's like, lol.
And Bonnie's like, peace out, Stefan. You take care of her.
Alaric and Damon and Elena arrive at Duke University. They meet one of Isabel's students, Vanessa. Isabel's stuff was designated as folklore or something. I don't know. There's a big exposition about like why her stuff is around and is it fiction? Is it nonfiction? It's folklore. A lot of chatty chat.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay.
Basically, Vanessa studied underneath Isabel and kind of continued her research and stuff after Isabel disappeared.
And they go into her office, and it's musty dusty. The Vanessa thinks Elena is Catherine and just busts out with a crossbow.
Yeah. And Damon jumps in front of Elena to save her.
Yep, takes the arrow in the back, act out. Act 2.
Oh my god.
No, I'm just kidding. But that wasn't, it went to black, you know.
Yeah.
Elena is pulling the arrow out of Damon's back. He wants to kill Vanessa. Elena tells him not to.
Mm-hmm. And he's like she's like, you better not do this, whatever. And he's just like, why do you think that you have control over me and you can manipulate me, even though she knows she can and she does?
Yeah, he's like, I'm a wild animal. And then he licks his pointer finger and his pinky and then straightens his eyebrows.
That's so gross.
It was a really weird acting choice. Vanessa is freaking out, like, Catherine can't be alive. Damon can't be alive. She's like, I know Damon Salvatore. I've read the research.
Right.
And then they're like, that's not Catherine. It is Damon, though.
Yeah, Damon is a vampire, and here he is.
Back in Mystic Falls, Stefan is teaching Caroline how to hunt wabbits, much like, what's his name? Elmer Fudd?
Elmer Fudd, yeah. I think Stefan is really cute in this moment. Like,
yeah.
he's, like, totally understanding Caroline's frustration, and it's kind of, like, charming and endearing to him. Probably brings him back to some good old memories.
Yeah, and also he's trying so hard to help his GF out.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to kill her friend, so I gotta, like, teach her friend how to do all this stuff.
Mm-hmm. And, yeah, Caroline's going through it.
I really don't want to kill my girlfriend's friend. Caroline wants to do regular teen stuff. This is a theme.
Yes.
People want to just do regular teen stuff, but then they're getting embroiled.
They're either supernatural or in the mix.
Mm-hmm. And then Stefan's talking about how vampire behaviors get, like, ramped up, magnified. And then, so Stefan's like, so that makes me, like, very caring, and, like, very empathetic, and, like, also, like, very handsome, and my hair looks good, and those are all, like, attributes I already had. And
And I was wondering what you thought about that.
as a vampire, like, you know, it's just heightened a little bit, you know.
He was, though. He was like, I cared very deeply for others, and I felt a lot of guilt if I was involved with someone else's suffering, and, like, super emotional.
And one of the main things that, like, as a vampire was just very heightened was how humble I am. Is, like, how he ends it. But Caroline says, I'm basically a control freak on crack.
Yeah.
Hey, 2010.
There we go.
Isabel's student. Oh, yeah. For all my notes, I didn't know what Vanessa's name was. So it's like, the student, the research assistant, Isabel's understudy.
Her.
Yeah. No, I said, so yeah, Isabel's student, but her name is Vanessa. Gives Elena, hey, she gives her some old books. You see how fluffy those books were? They look gross.
Gross.
If there's information in those books, I don't want them.
Ew, I don't want that.
Yeah, the pages were all like, they've been wet and then it looked like they've been dried with a blow dry or something.
Wet and then dry. They were just super duper old and gross.
Yeah, get those fluffy books out of my face.
Yeah. When they're looking through the research and stuff, they're not even reading anything. They're just like holding papers and tossing them aside. It's like, how would you find anything? You didn't even read a single word.
I know. That's the classic, especially this show thing. Like, you just saw Anna with a bunch of books and she's like, oh, where is it? Open this page. Open this page. Oh, it's not on the 2 pages I looked at.
Right.
Damon. Okay, so Damon's like overhearing all this with his vampire hearing, and he's joking around from the other room. He's like, "Vervain doesn't work," and then he's like,
"If you want me to see my shirt off, just ask."
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, he said he can read minds. So he says he's just is a big liar. And
yeah, but he's just kind of goofing around and you know, being mischievous.
Typical Damon.
But Elena is not having it. She does not think it's cute. She's telling Vanessa that he's a jerk.
Ash, did you have a town watering hole?
We had the Chesapeake Bay.
Okay. Less of a hole, more of a
giant,
large body of water.
Yeah.
So there is a watering hole on the Lockwood property? Mm-hmm. Wait, that probably didn't come through. The Lockwood property?
Yeah, the end of the word property.
There's a watering hole on the Lockwood property?
Well, there's no context for what this Lockwood property is like. Like, you
We
can't
just-
get your bearings
No.
as the viewer. You're like, okay, there's some woods, there's some random steps down, and then somewhere adjacent to that, there's a big water.
Yeah. The Lockwoods.
They don't even show the whole watering hole either. Like, you don't even get the bearings of that. You only get to see, like, the edge of it.
Yeah. Yeah, the Lockwoods are very wealthy, I guess.
Well, they took all of the vampires' homes,
Yep.
so they gained some property.
And I heard they bought Tesla stock early on. Ty is being a creep, talking to Matt at the watering hole. Mm-hmm. He's like, Amy so-and-so's ass got hot.
I know, I was like, that's the weirdest thing to say.
He's a weird creep. And then he's like, where's Forbes? Which I was like, who's Forbes? Sheriff Forbes? And I was like, oh, yeah, Caroline. And Matt's like, I wish I knew. And then Mason rolls up in his Ford Bronco. Mm-hmm. Cool car.
He's like, gotta be out of here by dark.
Yeah.
Why? Me.
Because I'm like very cool, but also very responsible, he says. Mm-hmm. Caroline and Stefan are there. Caroline asks Stefan why he looked at Mason with his serious vampire look.
Oh, yeah, and then she's teasing him about how he's so serious.
Mm-hmm. And she, like, smears some blood, like a big smile on her face, and she says, why so serious? That was really weird.
That was so weird.
But since they're kind of jumping back and forth with Twilight, they're also kind of doing some Batman stuff, so I get it.
I know, I was going to say, and then Stefan's like, I'm Batman.
Yeah, he did do that. And then he was like, just kidding. I turned into a Batman.
Oh, God.
Matt
So silly.
is flirting with Amy.
Amy's flirting with Matt.
Okay, yep. And there's a full moon tonight. There's a bad moon rising. Caroline roams over. Caroline compels Amy to leave. Caroline is still just kind of telling people to do stuff.
Yeah.
And not really knowing her power.
Caroline's still really just impulsive and, you know, she hasn't learned how to chill out yet.
No, it's like she's on crack, I would say.
Right. But so she basically yells at Amy, and Matt doesn't know that she compelled her, but she still looks like she's like, hey, get out of here, like, and just be nasty. And Matt's like, you just showed up out of nowhere. I've been calling you, and you can't do that. He's just so annoyed by her. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's kind of being annoying.
Elena's going through some books, some fluffy books. With gross pages that probably like crumple as soon as you turn the page. Damon has some secret or something that he's lording over her.
Yeah, he's all in the corner.
Yeah. If you could get a visual on that, that's exactly what he was doing. Alaric and the other lady, I said, because I still didn't know her name.
Vanessa.
Going through a different book. She's going through mythology while Mason... Okay, so this is another little intercut moment.
Yeah.
Mason is going to the uncle basement. And, this was my note. Is there going to be bad CGI werewolves? Mm-hmm. And then I was like, werewolf bite is fatal to vampires. I was like, that's a little wrinkle.
It's also interesting that Damon and therefore Stefan are just learning about werewolves for the first time, which they explain. They said that most of the vampires hunted the werewolves to near extinction. But then, yeah, Damon gets really concerned when he finds out that the bite is fatal.
Wouldn't they, in their little vampire potlucks or something, have discussed that? Like, hey, we hunted all those werewolves. We were like, pretty much, we got them. And then, like, high-five each other?
Probably.
Like, over their 160 years?
I don't know. Maybe they've been too worried about Catherine this whole time.
Or was all that hunting going on pre-Salvatore Bros?
It could have been pre-Salvatore Bros, but you would think that would still get passed down.
Yeah.
Through the vamps. But no, they're just finding out about it. And they're worried.
Yeah, pretty convenient for the plots. Matt's wrapping up the keg tap. You saw that? He was like putting away the tap after it was kicked.
No, I didn't see it.
And it's dark. It's past dark. Mason said to get out of there.
Yeah, there is some like little chatter. People are like, "Hey, Tyler said we need to be out of here. Come on, guys, let's go."
Caroline walks over. Stefan gets a call from Elena, and Elena's like, "It's gonna sound crazy, but there are werewolves."
Yep.
And Stefan's like, "Huh?" Mm-hmm. And Matt's talking to Caroline. He says, "I hate insecurity." Or wait, maybe he doesn't say that. Or
He's like, "I thought we were past all this insecurity stuff, Care."
Yeah. He's not going to put up with the drama. No more drama, Caroline says.
Which is like just what yesterday you said that you loved her, and now you're just going to be like laying your foot down? Come on, guys. Relationships take work. You can't just give up.
Nope.
But Caroline apologizes, goes in for the kiss.
Mm-hmm. And then, like, they walk off into the night, and Stefan's still talking to Elena, and Elena's like, "P.S. A werewolf bite can kill a vampire." And Stefan's like, "Huh?"
Yikes. And then notices Caroline is gone away. Mm-hmm. He was supposed to keep his eyes on her, and now he's worried.
Mason is turning into a werewolf in the uncle basement. Mm-hmm. And I said it's a good thing he already had all those sick carabiners from going rock climbing.
Or from doing this another time.
Ty is leading Amy to the uncle basement.
Yeah.
Because another thing that Caroline said to her was, when she compelled her, was like, "Why don't you go, like, be obsessed with somebody single or whatever. Go hook up with somebody single."
Chase someone around who's single.
Yeah, and she asked Ty, like, "You're single, right?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm single." "Oh, yeah."
Ew, stop it.
So Mason's like, "Uh-oh, can't turn into a werewolf in here." And he runs to his very cool Bronco.
Runs with all his like chains still dangling on him and stuff.
Oh, run into the Bronco, chains dangling.
He does.
And
he hooks himself up to a tree. Climbs into his car.
Yep. And I said, there hasn't been that much action in a Bronco since OJ. Huh? Mm-hmm. that will probably get cut out. Elena finds a picture of Catherine. She asks Vanessa, the student in my notes, about doppelgangers, which has got to be one of my least favorite words to hear and say a million times. She's like, "What about doppelgangers? And do you know anything about doppelgangers? And doppelgangers? And do you want to go get a burger at Doppelgangers, the restaurant?"
She's like, "I don't know much about doppelgangers, but..." And then she tells her all these things she knows.
Yeah.
That,
They torment the people they look like.
Yes.
Hey, I don't know if this is here or later or whatever, but when she was talking about the werewolves, I kind of got lost, though, actually. That she was like, the werewolves own the night and the vampires...
Okay, so the werewolves and vampires, they said that they were cursed.
Yes.
They're both a curse because they were just like at one point just going around chilling and killing a bunch of people and stuff. Mm-hmm. So then they were cursed so that the werewolves have the moon curse, and they turn into a werewolf once a month on the full moon. And the vampires have the sun curse, which is why they can't go out in the day.
Yeah, and I was on board for that, but I was just kind of typing and listening or whatever, and I was like, wait, but they both kind of are relegated to the night. I was like, does this really work? And then, but you explaining it makes more sense.
But also, it seems
then
like...
in my tiny little brain.
It seems like the person who put this curse on favored vampires. Vampires still get to hang out every night, all night.
Yeah.
Werewolves only get one night.
But Ash, werewolves can walk around during the day, waltzing about with just like more pronounced happy trails.
And they're still like strong and stuff.
Well, and they can live normal human lives to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. Vampires, only some of them have these day walking hacks.
Their rings.
Well, it seems like a lot of vampires just are in the nighttime, but werewolves can kind of like do what they please and have real lives, but then like once a month.
It sucks for them.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, that's the day and the night curse, and then doppelgangers torment the person that looks like them, which could explain why
That seems like a little...
Catherine is after Elena.
Seems like a little add-on. They were like, okay, we got this cool moon and sun thing.
Yeah, the moon and sun thing is cool.
Also, doppelgangers have this thing.
Yeah, I thought the description of the moon and sun curse was interesting.
Yeah, me too.
Now that you get it. Uh-huh. Yeah.
And all throughout this whole little Duke exploration, Damon is like, I got a little secret. Hide it in my little V-neck.
Well, he even like alludes to it like, well, if too bad we're not friends because then I could tell you what I know.
I know. They do the friends thing back and forth so much. Like, if friends do this and then friends don't manipulate friends. And like, well, we were for friends. I would tell my friend this friendly secret.
They do it way too many times.
And I would take her to Friendly's and get ice cream and then I would tell her my friend's secret. And
we wear BFF necklaces and you'd be the B fry and I'd be the end.
Okay.
You don't know?
I do know that.
Okay.
Yeah, the heart in half.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like that. And I was like, Damon loves friendship. You love the very thing you cannot have.
Well, yeah.
Ty and Amy are making out in the uncle basement, but she stops it. She likes Matt.
Yeah, she's just like, I don't even know why I came with you. I feel like her compulsion ended or whatever, and she's just like, I'm leaving.
Compulsion is certainly the word or a better word, which I was thinking of compilation. Her compilation ended.
No.
Yep. And
She didn't have a mixtape.
Right? She left. She leaves. Mm-hmm. She's like, why am I in this basement? An uncle should be in here. Stefan comes upon the Bronco.
Okay, Stefan is definitely risking himself to save Caroline.
Mm-hmm.
He just found out 1 second ago that a werewolf bite could kill him. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, I'm going to go find this werewolf.
He's very brave, and he was even brave before, and being a vampire heightened his bravery,
Yeah.
and also how humble he is. Werewolf Mason is hopping around, because we learned that werewolves hop, right?
Yes, like frogs.
Vampires whoosh, werewolves hop. We learned that. Mm-hmm. A big dog jumps out of the car and runs away, I said.
First he sees the yellow eyes, which you're like, oh, yeah, we've seen those yellow eyes. And then, big dog jumps out. It's a wolf.
And I said, they went more dog than humanoid wolf, looks like, I said.
Yeah, good.
Good. Yeah, we don't want one of these bad.
We don't need Mason dressed up, talking like a werewolf.
Like some hairy ears. We don't want that.
Oh, no. Couldn't have hairy ears.
Alaric tells the student, Vanessa, she doesn't want to be caught up in the game. Isabel became her research.
Right.
Which I was like, man, he's going to be vague, leave it at that. It's going to be cool. And then he's like, she became a vampire.
Yeah.
No subtlety.
Nope.
Even to this person he just met.
No.
She became a research and then cut to the next scene. But instead he's like,
what does that mean?
They held a beat. She nods and he's like, she became a vampire, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, not everyone who watches the show is as sophisticated as us, Ash.
It's true.
Sometimes you need to spell it out, I guess.
Sometimes you need people who love Uncle Basement to watch your show.
Yikes.
That's you. You won't stop talking about it.
Look, Ash, I try and find a little callback each episode, and people like that.
I know.
Okay.
But also you like Uncle Basement.
Well, I like mine. I have a cool recliner down there. Damon tells Elena that she won't be able to hate him forever. Mm-hmm. Damon gives Elena a Petrova book.
Yes.
Petrova was Catherine's real name.
Her real last name.
Real last name. You have every right to hate me, he says.
Didn't Damon have a good accent when he was like, Katerina Petrova, whatever? I think he did a good job.
Sure. Let's give it to him.
What?
Let's give it to the young man.
I think he gets it.
You have every right.
She goes by Catherine Pierce, right? Mm-hmm. But no, it's not her real name.
Mm-mm. It would suck if that was gone forever, Damon says. Their friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing around the the suck word like vampires.
Yeah. There was some emphasis on it.
This is the Damon Wants to Be Friends episode.
It's just sad because Damon and Elena were friends, and they were good buds, and they looked out for each other.
And then he killed her brother.
I know.
If only he didn't kill her brother. And I was just watching this, Ash, and every once in a while I have to zoom the Google map out a little bit.
Yeah.
I had to pinch and flick.
Are you about to ruin it for me?
No, but just like Damon trying so hard to be Elena's friend is like if me right now, I was trying so hard to like be friends with a 2-year-old and just, oh man, this 2-year-old won't be my friend, man. I want to be friends with this 2-year-old.
Okay, but Damon's super old, but that doesn't mean that he's really mature. He's just...
Same with me. I'm very old and very immature.
And also...
Also, 2-year-olds are cool.
Stop. And also, she looks just like Catherine. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, he's got a thing. He was in love with Catherine. She looks just like her. He fell in love with her. And now not only can he not be with her, now he can't even be her friend. I don't think it's that weird.
You convinced me, Ash. Ash, do you think... in the immortal lyrics of whoever wrote that song, that it really is better to have loved and lost than never loved at all? Mm-hmm. You do?
Yeah. Loving feels good.
But then you lose.
Yeah, but also that feels good in a different way.
Very true. I agree with that. Caroline and Matt are making out in the mist. Or maybe it's steam.
Because Caroline gets H for B.
Yes.
And
when Matt gets cut, he cuts his hand on the bark.
Yeah. They didn't really show.
Doesn't matter. Caroline.
It was like, snap. Ow.
And then, but that was just her bra strap. Oh. Then Caroline bites Matt and sucks his neck.
Wasn't that surprising?
I was very surprised.
You know, she had been practicing to hold it in. She couldn't do it.
Mm-mm. And does that mean, like, what? He could turn into a vampire now, or what?
No, he has to feed... no, he has to have vampire blood in his system and then die to be a vampire.
Stefan...
He would just be dead if he gets it drained of blood.
If she drained it.
Yeah.
Stefan stops her, and the wolf is wolfing around.
He's like, we gotta run really fast.
Yeah, he's like, me and you run fast, and Matt will catch up or something.
It was weird that they were just leaving Matt, but it seemed like Stefan knew that the werewolf was going to be after the vampires only.
Yeah, but if I was a werewolf, I'd be like, let me eat this regular human real quick, then go get these vampires.
Right, I know.
Guaranteed meal.
It is strange that Stefan felt comfortable to just leave Matt, who was bleeding from his neck, and just found out Caroline was a vampire, just alone.
Uh-huh. Ty is in the mix.
Yeah.
The wolf hops on Caroline and drools on her face.
Yeah, he tackles her to the ground.
Ty is surprised.
He's very surprised.
Stefan knocks the wolf off of Caroline, and then Ty yells at the wolf and it runs away.
Yeah, he's like, no.
There must be some piece of Uncle Mason's brain in that wolf to hear Ty's voice and be like, no.
I'd rather run away. Did you want him to have that little hurt dog sound? He's like,
yeah,
and then he's
and a tail between his legs.
He scatters away.
I did want that.
That didn't happen, unfortunately.
Maybe next episode. Caroline
there you go.
Yep, tail. Caroline compels Matt. She's doing Damon stuff to Matt that Damon did to her.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Stefan took care of Ty and got Matt on vervain.
So that Caroline can't feed on him, because if she sucks his blood and has vervain in it would be poison to her.
And Caroline says about Matt, he's the one person on this entire planet that I never wanted to hurt. She says it like that. And so I was like, so she wanted to hurt everyone else? Like, the way she phrases it, like, maybe that was the best take, even though she kind of got the line a little bit wrong, but they were like, they'll get what they're saying.
He's the only person that I didn't want to hurt.
Yeah, but so she literally wanted to hurt every other person on the planet.
On the whole planet.
Not Matt, though.
Not Matt.
But
Just
that's who
everyone
she
else.
hurt.
I know.
The irony, Ash.
It's crazy. She could have hurt anyone else and been okay with it.
Yeah, she'd be like, chill vibes.
That's what I wanted to do.
Stefan wants to walk away from Elena, but can't, he says.
No, he loves her.
Ty goes to the Bronco, looks in the back, finds Uncle Mason's shorts. Uncle Mason walks up.
I didn't realize it was his shorts.
What do you think it was?
I don't know, just
Big-
some clothes.
Yeah, towel or something. Mm-hmm. They looked like some old Navy shorts. Uncle Mason is nude and walks up dirty.
Yeah.
And
He also looks like he has very fluffy hair.
yeah, he probably did some like scratches, some leg scratches.
It also looks like they contoured his face with dirt.
Probably. And Ty throws him the shorts, puts them on. And then Ty was like, "It was you." And he's like, "Yeah."
Yep, can't hide that.
Nope. If it wasn't me, I'm weird.
Yeah, I'm just naked and full of dirt.
Yep. And then there's
My
also
car is
a
broken
wolf.
and there's some chains and
Yeah, totally wasn't me. I'm doing other stuff.
other very weird
I'm
things.
doing other stuff. Don't ask. There's a wolf over there, though. Yeah, that'd be funny. Matt is at the grill with Amy. Mm-hmm. And Caroline sees that and is sad, and she goes up and confronts them.
But this is at this point, I don't really feel like Caroline is out of line. She's at Caro instead. Caro in line. Instead
She's
of
Caro in line.
Instead of Caro out of line. Because Amy will not leave Matt alone.
Yeah, what's her deal?
She's flirting with him so much, and Caroline's like, "Chill, man. That's my boyfriend. Like, get the heck out of here." And that's what drives Matt over the edge. But like, I mean, Caroline is right. She shouldn't be flirting with her boyfriend like that.
Yeah. Matt gets up. He's mad. He walks away, and he's like, and I think she's like, "Are we breaking up?" He's like, "Yeah, I guess we are," or whatever.
But do you think she was Carol in line or Carol out of line?
Ash, I think she was Carol in line. I agree with you.
Good. That's important for our relationship, for me to
Yes.
know that.
That she was Carol in line.
Yes.
End montage. Sometimes you got to end the app with a montage. Play a little music, show a couple images.
All right.
Alaric comes in and kisses Aunt Jenna.
Jenna.
I said a lot of aunts and uncles in this episode.
That's true. He was like, I should have done that this morning.
And then he farts. Just kidding. I'm not going to put that in.
Why would you say that?
Damon loves road trips, Ash. Mm-hmm. He brings Elena home. This is a little conversation on the porch or something, right?
I think you're talking about the conversation Elena and Damon have outside of the car.
Oh, outside the car? Mm-hmm. Elena says, "Tell me the truth, Dame." Mm-hmm. Damon. Did you know he was wearing the ring, Jeremy, when he snapped his neck?
Yeah.
And he admits no. And then he's like, "But I don't know what I would have done if he wasn't wearing it."
Right. And he apologizes.
He apologizes. He was honest, Ash. Mm-hmm. That's what every
Human.
woman wants from a man.
And every man wants from a woman.
And every friend wants from a friend, Ash. Honesty
Yeah.
and apologies.
Yes, 100%.
And then Elena's like, "Too bad, you've lost me forever."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Forever, ever?" And she's like, "Yes. You use me. Friends don't manipulate friends. They're both saying mean stuff back and forth."
Yeah, because Damon's like, you knew that you were going to be, that the friendship or whatever is going to be over before we even went on this road trip, and you used me to get information. Mm-hmm. And she's just kind of like, yep.
Yep. Seems like killing your bro is a deal breaker for Elena.
Yeah.
Would that be for you?
I think so.
Me too. Fade to white, Ash.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Caroline in bed. Catherine by the bed. Don't be frightened. We're going to have so much fun together. And then she holds up a bottle of hair dye, dark hair dye. Dun, dun, dun.
This is dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Catherine is back.
Gang.
Catherine going to turn Caroline dark Caroline for real? Is that your Pete-diction? Or is that just your joke?
That's just my hope. Less of a joke, more of a hope. Will Catherine, I think I Pete-dicted that she was like getting up a swad.
Yeah.
Right? Uh-huh. I wish she had been standing there with like a couple members of her squad.
Her swad.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
What?
But that didn't happen. I don't know. We're going to have so much fun together. Is she going to taint Caroline? We'd love to see that. But, or is Caroline too pure? Is she too,
Is she too loyal?
Is she loyal, or is she too, like...
Neurotic?
Whatchamacallit? Like, is she too, like, easy to be manipulated in this moment?
She's pretty vulnerable.
Vulnerable is a word that I was looking for.
All right, well, let's talk about it. What are your Pete-dictions at this point?
Well, next episode, there's going to be the uncle-nephew conversation. Mm-hmm. And probably Uncle Mason is going to tell Ty, like, when you turn 18 or something, maybe. Is Ty not 18 yet? Or maybe the Moonstone. Probably the Moonstone is keeping him at bay. Maybe that's why Mason wanted it. Because we saw no Moonstone this episode.
No.
I think we needed to let the whole werewolf thing play out before the Moonstone is like, oh, by the way, I have the Moonstone. Which also maybe Mayor Lockwood was using the Moonstone to quell his monster tendencies.
That would make sense to why Mason wanted it.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I have like a cool rock climbing trip coming up with my bros over the full moon. I need the Moonstone. You know? Mm-hmm. But he didn't get it in time.
No.
Catherine, I think for a time she will be like coercing Caroline. Like, come on, it feels so good. And, Caroline and Catherine are going to pay a visit to Matt because we know Catherine is into Matt. Mm-hmm. And
his blue eyes.
Yeah, they're going to be like do some PG-13 flirting.
Okay.
Damon is going to be sad again. Ooh, what's he going to do because he's sad? Probably something mean. Mm-hmm. Oh, is he going to bully Jeremy maybe? Stefan is going to comfort Elena, and then he's going to be sad about Catherine coercing Caroline.
We haven't seen Stefan and Elena in bed together in quite a long time.
No. I just woke up. Yep. All right.
Okay.
Fang time. Fang zone.
Fang-a-lang-a-ding-dong.
Uh-huh. I'm going with 2 fangs for the 2 and more Pete-dictions that came true in this episode.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go 2 fangs as well. It was fun for you to finally learn that werewolves do exist. He does exist.
They do exist.
He does exist. Yeah, I liked it.
Yep, it was much like when the M&Ms found out that Santa exists and vice versa.
I'm glad you explained our reference.
Yeah.
By the way, next episode I think is a flashback episode.
To 1864?
Uh-huh.
All right. Long hair, do care, because it's good.
I know. I love it.
The V-necks become open blouses on men. Right?
Yeah, they sort of do. I was just thinking about how your hair is getting really long. Maybe we should put some curlers in there and make it like Damon's 1864 hair.
Yeah, I mean, it's not long. We'll see.
It is on top. I could curl that.
We'll see how long it gets before I'm allowed to get a haircut.
Yeah, seriously.
Ash, I don't have a game tonight. Do you have one?
I do. It's called No.
And the way you win is by saying the plugs.
Yep.
What do I want to direct your attention to this week? I think that you should just buy my horror anthology, Horror from the High Dive. 12 scary stories, one spooky poem. Mm-hmm. It's good.
Spooky, Chris.
Yes. It's very good.
It's very good.
Some very talented writers and me have a story in there. For any question, go buy it. Amazon or Barnes & Noble.
Yeah,
or
check it out. It's really good.
An incredible thing you could do is to order it from your local bookstore. Mm-hmm. They'll order it online, and then they'll send it to you. But that gives a little, maybe like $1 or $2 in my pocket, $1 or $2 in your local bookstore's pocket. Bookstore. And hey, I would say if you're going to order it from a bookstore but you don't know where to order it from, Dark Delicacies in Burbank.
Check it out.
They have autographed copies there, Ash.
I have one too.
Mm-hmm. For any questions or concerns, follow me at Peter L. Harmon on Twitter or Instagram. I haven't gotten banned yet from Twitter.
Oh my gosh.
Ash isn't on Twitter because she's banned. And she's private on Instagram because if she wasn't, she'd get banned. If you have something to say to her that isn't weird, I'll tell her. Or email thehappenstances@gmail.com.
Send us your email.
Don't tweet spoilers or you will get banned. If you love the show, please leave us a review on whatever thing you're listening on.
Yes, do it.
And 5 stars. Don't give us any of this 4-star garbage.
No, it's very easy. You just click like one single finger.
Yeah, and this is a perfect show, so it deserves a perfect score.
100%.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.